Over the last couple of years, we've celebrated some incredibly monumental historic events, like the 400th anniversary of the sailing of the Pilgrim Fathers from England to America, and of the 75th anniversary of victory in Europe. You know, it's been said that the events that Luke is writing about in this chapter, well, it's the greatest day in all of history. I'd invite you as you're reading today to read it really slowly and to read it really carefully. And as you're reading the verses and the paragraphs, just stop at the end of each little section and take it in. Take a moment to reflect, because it's really easy to miss some of the things that have been said. This chapter can be broken down into 4 parts. There's the trial of Jesus. There's this wonderful scene of 2 criminals crucified on either side of Jesus. Then there's his actual death, and then there's his burial. You know, Luke wants us to know when it comes to the trial, that Jesus is totally innocent. Several times in this chapter he actually refers to the innocence of Jesus. He wants us to know that Jesus lived a life that is not like your life and my life, but he lived a different life. He lived the life that God intended for him. It was perfect. He maintained his perfection. And then we see this wonderful event of the 2 criminals crucified on either side of Jesus. You know, they began by hailing insults at him, but then one of them had a change of heart and mind, and he began to see Jesus for who he is, and he put his trust in him. There's this wonderful line where he just cries out towards the mercy of Jesus and says, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus says, "Surely today you will be with me in paradise." This wonderful confirmation that Jesus is saying, you cannot earn your way into heaven. You have no opportunity to do any good works. It is purely by faith alone that this day you're going to enter into heaven. And it's exactly the same for you and me. If we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, that is, that we say there's nothing we can do to merit going to heaven. Well, then there's this scene where Jesus is crying out in victory because he has finished paying for the sins of all the world. Everybody's sins Jesus paid for on the cross, and he cries out in victory saying, "It is finished." Well, then there's the burial where Jesus' body is taken off the cross, and it's laid in the tomb, showing that he didn't just swoon on the cross, he didn't fake his death, but he really died, and he was laid in a tomb to show that. Well, you know, throughout all of history, Jesus has been planning this event, and he's been walking the path towards it, looking forwards to the day when he could once and for all pay for your sin and my sin. And you know, now as you and I walk through life with our friends, families, colleagues, whoever it may be, we need to walk them down the same road to the cross of Jesus Christ. We need to explain to them what happened here, and we need to explain to them the hidden work of Jesus on the cross, the fact that he was taking upon himself their sins and paying for them. So that's something that we need to do when we're speaking with friends. I hope that's been really helpful. I hope these readings have really grown your relationship with Jesus.